Hey, hello everyone. I think we're now live everywhere. Excuse me. I'm Dr. Beverly, and this is our weekly live meditation. I'm glad you could join us. Tonight we will talk about grief and loss because I have experienced that recently. We didn't have our meditation last week because of the summit. It was a 5-day summit. It was live on YouTube. It was active on YouTube. I wouldn't say live. The pre-recorded talks were available on YouTube. I should put it that way. And on Wednesday night, I had this really old dog, Phoebe. She was losing her hair and she had a really bad back and she'd lost most of her teeth. She could barely stand. She was just, old. She was almost 15. And I asked her if she wanted me to put her down, and she said no. And the next morning, when I woke up, she was gone. She left in her sleep. So I thought this would be a good thing to talk about this week. Whether you've recently lost a loved one, experienced a breakup or divorce, or faced any type of loss, then the meditation tonight is designed to help you with your emotional journey and to find peace in the process. It's a process. It doesn't happen instantly. It won't happen overnight. I'm working on it, but I'll share with you some of the things that I've been doing and that help. So my beautiful Phoebe was a Maltese, and the name Phoebe in Greek means bright or radiant, and she was just an incredible little dog. And there's a Greek epithet that sometimes they used when they lost one of their animals. I am in tears while carrying you to your resting place, as much as I rejoiced when bringing you home in my own hands 15 years ago. She was very telepathic. One day I was working on my computer like this, and there was one of her green treats right there in the air, and I'm going like this. What is this? And I realized I was seeing with my eyes, but my third eye was projecting this green toy, or not toy, but treat. And I looked down, there she is, and she's sending me this message. So she was very, very telepathic, an incredible little dog. So there's lots of emotional aspects to grief and loss, whether it's a person or you experience the loss of everything you own. Like I have 3 cousins that lived in Paradise, California. They lost everything. And the worst thing that one of my cousins said that he lost was his 3 dogs. They're not replaceable. The rest is just stuff, right? So you're going to have a range of emotions and they're going to keep changing. You can have trauma, sadness, anger, guilt, even at times feeling relieved. So it comes and goes. They talk about the 5 stages of grieving. For me, the first thing that happened was I was in shock because I didn't expect her to die in the night. I probably would have held her if I had known, which is when you put the dog down, you get to hold them and be with them while they leave. Sorry. So just remember that it's a process, no right or wrong, and you just have to go with it. So let's talk about some of the holistic things you can do. Now, one of my friends is a naturopathic doctor, and she said, you're in shock. So if you're in shock, this is what I recommend. It's a homeopathic remedy. I'll post the name below in chat, but it's Aconitum Napellus Aconitum. I can't read Latin. Aconitum Napellus. I know you can get it at Amazon. This particular brand is a brand I really like. You're probably more familiar with the Brioni one and the blue tubes. I don't have one like that here. But this is called Unda, and they're out of Canada. It makes, yeah, Unda, UNDA. And I know they sell them on Amazon, so you can get it there. And you just want to take a few several times a day. I took this for several days to get past the shock. If you didn't experience shock, you won't necessarily experience shock with every trauma. But a lot of times, you know, if you just find yourself crying and you can't stop, probably in shock. The other thing you can do that really helps is to journal. And when I say journal, I mean write on a piece of paper. I have it's over here somewhere. Anyway, I have a journal that I write in. You want to write using a pen and paper. It's not the same when you type. Your handwriting is a reflection of your feelings. I'm a handwriting analyst. I've helped a lot of people by changing their handwriting. So you want to write, and if you know how you normally write, notice if it's different while you're writing about your grief and sadness. Another thing you can use is the Bach Flower Essence Rescue Remedy. This is really good for any kind of stress or shock or whatever. So anytime I have any kind of stress or shock, I use Rescue Remedy. And another thing you can use is essential oils. And 3 of the best are lavender, chamomile, and frankincense. They're very calming and soothing. Lavender, one of the advantages of lavender is if you can only afford one oil, get lavender. It does just about anything you need. And you can use it directly on the skin. So right here between your eyebrows in the middle is an acupuncture point called yin tong. So you can either put a drop of lavender in your finger and massage it, or you can put it on some cotton and just massage this area. And that will help you moving forward. You can also put it into a diffuser. Now, frankincense, you cannot put directly on the skin. It has to be in a carrier oil, but you can use a diffuser. So you can add the lavender, the chamomile, and the frankincense, or whatever combination you want into a diffuser, and just diffuse it into the room. Or you can if you use frankincense, you can put it on cotton and then just sniff it. Lavender, you can put it in your hand, rub your hands together, cup it over your face, and just sort of breathe it in. And that will talk about breathing. Now, one of the things that happens to a lot of us, me included, is when we're in shock, we sometimes forget to breathe. We'll just, have you ever done that and you're just not even breathing? Very important to remember to breathe, and to breathe slowly. So just inhale, a quick pause, and a slow exhale. And you can exhale through your nose or your mouth, but always inhale through your nose. And when you inhale the good, the peace, the love, the calmness. And when you exhale the stress, the worry, the pain, whatever negative feelings or emotions you want to release. There is an affirmation you can use. I am strong and capable of handling this loss. I am loved and supported, and I will find peace in this promise. So for tonight's meditation, remember to start with slow breathing. I'm going to play binaural beats music. So if you have a headset, grab the headset, or if you have stereo speakers, use the stereo speakers. And just be very calm. for this kind of a meditation, if you really can't sit still, stand, or walk, but I strongly suggest sitting or laying for this kind of a meditation because you're already in a down emotional state. Usually when people need to stand or walk, their energy is high. They have a lot of energy. They can't sit still. But frequently with loss, our energy goes down. We need to bring it back up. And we need to calm ourselves emotionally because when we're crying, that's a depressed state. So sit or lay, unless you have nothing to grieve. Good for you. When you lose a dog, you remember all the dogs you've ever lost. And I've had dogs since I was a small child. So, I'm grieving a lot of dogs, not just one. It's one of the problems with grief is it triggers all these emotions that, if you lost one parent and then you lose the second parent, you're grieving both of them now. You lose a sibling and then another sibling, you're losing both of them. You lose a friend and another friend, now you're losing all your friends. So the grief isn't just a singularity. And, if you're a refugee, you lost your whole home and everything you own, and maybe you lost your country, and maybe you lost friends and family. I mean, that's just an overwhelming amount of grief and loss. So don't expect it to just suddenly go away. If it does, you're probably not processing it. If you can just, oh, okay, that happened. Either you've shut down completely, or you need to work on your heart chakra. It's just not normal. It's more normal to shut down because you don't know how to process the grief or the loss or the sadness. So that's what we're about tonight, to help you with that. And like I said, I'll post in chat some of the holistic things you can do so that you have them. So you should have your headset by now. Go into your inner space and close your eyes and just start breathing deeply, slowly, belly breath. Feel your belly fill up all the way up to the top of your lungs, and just gently in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm going to go ahead and share the screen and share the sound, and we'll start playing the music. So imagine yourself standing at the edge of a peaceful lake. The water is clear, calm, and still. It is reflecting the beauty of the world around it and you. You see green trees, the blue sky, white, fluffy clouds, and you hear beautiful birds singing. You remember that there is life all around you and that life goes on. You remember that everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. You are still in the middle of your journey while your loved one has come to the end of their journey. Remember, they are still alive in your heart. If you believe in a higher power, then pray to that power to take care of your loved one. We will let you say your prayer now. So I'm going to have you slowly, I can figure out how to turn on my camera again. Let me do a stop share. There we are. Zoom changed everything and things disappear. And trying to figure out how to get them back again can be a challenge. And I was on the shared screen, not on Zoom. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't come back. So I hope that meditation was helpful for you. And like I said, I will post the names of these things in chat in a few minutes so that you have them. And I hope your prayer was heard. I'm sure it was, whoever you pray to. And remember to journal. It's very helpful. And I don't read my journal, at least not in the same year that I wrote it. I just write in my journal, and maybe years later, I'll go and look something up. What was I doing in this year? And then I'll go, oh my gosh. And you'll see how you've changed. Because the only yardstick you can measure yourself and your progress is against yourself. You can't look at someone else and say, oh, they're smarter or faster or better. No, they're not. They're just as good as you're just as good as they are. That's one of the things your journal will do. That, and sometimes you'll get insights when you're writing something down. An insight will come and you write that down and you go, oh, wow. That's why you want to write by hand, because the insight will just flow through you. So hope you had a great meditation. And remember, on Mondays, we have our weekly podcast, and we will be live again next week, Thursday. So remember to be the light you want to see in the world.